Hey guys, welcome back to the Hat House. I'm Steven.
I'm Mary. Today we're going to talk about the 1,000 hats that we got. If you notice, we have quite a few of them behind us. We're going to pick out some that we think are really cool and show you guys and tell you how our whatnot went with the first box that we opened.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about the whatnot. I don't know if we're going to exactly do it like that going forward in the future. I kind of like how we did do it, just pick out some cool hats and sell the cool hats on whatnot. But right now, let's get into the first box. We're going to go through 3 of them. So let's get in the first one and see what we can find in here. All right, guys, we finally got them in. It was 3 days of UPS. I don't know. They kept trying to deliver them, but it sat on their truck all day long. And then I got this, what did it say, emergency?
Yeah, it was weather emergency or something. We had no weather yesterday, so we don't know what they were talking about.
Yeah, they kept delaying the packages, so I was getting a little nervous. I had a lot of money tied up into these. I think I kind of laid through what I bought last week on the video, but just quickly, if there's going to be about 1,000 hats here, I think we ended up closer to 950, but we're going to sort them all first. And okay, one box down, we got it sorted. About half of it was sports.
Yes, definitely.
Maybe a little under, but there was a lot of sports in here. So this box will kind of depend on how well we get this sports cleaned up, on whether we're going to do well. I mean, there's a lot of different New Era, Nike, regular dad hats to 5950 fitted hats. A little bit of everything in there. So it's going to take a little bit of cleaning to get those fixed up. What we're going to do is we're not going to dig into these other boxes yet. We're going to get these cleaned up. There was a lot of golf too. I mean, this is like a row of golf right here. A cool little Masters hat. And there's my cat. Nice little kind of, just some golf hats. Cobra hat, gonna need a lot of cleaning. The other thing that I will do though, a nice little Pebble Beach. We'll take all these white hats out of here, and I have a special white hat box. And then what I do is I'll oxy all of those together by themselves in the wash, and then we'll do all the white hats separately. But right now we're gonna go through. We're gonna start scrubbing all of these hats. We're gonna get the grandma spray out. You know, it's my favorite. Link in the description below if you need some to clean hats. But we're gonna use grandma spray, get them all cleaned up, and then we're going to. I think we're going to start, after they dry, we're going to start setting them up in the whatnot room. We're just going to start filling those shelves up in there, and maybe we'll have like 100 on the shelf and then 100 in, I haven't even really told Mary all this idea, but I'll have like 100 on the shelf and then 100 next to me. And then I definitely want to try to sell 100 hats in that show. So I'll probably just run the hats one right after the other. And if anybody sees something on the shelf that they want me to run, I could do that too. So we're going to get busy cleaning right now. We'll be back and I'll start showing you some of the results after we get them cleaned. Let me show you some of the condition of how they are now. Okay, we got, how many did we get done?
We got about half of a box done. So I would say 100, 150 hats.
Yeah, about 100 hats cleaned up. We're going to take a lot of these to Whatnot. We're going to see how Whatnot goes, with just taking some of these straight there, not listing them on eBay. We're going to run that show on Saturday. It's kind of different than we usually do. So it's going to be kind of an interesting kind of experiment. We're going to take them straight to Whatnot. We're going to finish cleaning the other 100. We may be able to sneak some of those in the show if we get them cleaned up in time. But I'll let you take a quick look at some of the hats that we're going to run on Whatnot. And then we'll see how Whatnot show goes. We'll get back with you after the Whatnot show and see kind of what we thought, how that went. All right, guys, it's Wednesday. And is it Wednesday?
It's Thursday.
It's Thursday. And so we had our Whatnot show over the last weekend. How do you think it went?
I think it went okay. It could have went better We didn't lose money, but we didn't make much money.
Yeah, it was a little rough, I would say. I don't know if Saturday at noon was the greatest time for one. There were still like 30 or 40 people in the room most of the time, which isn't bad. I know a lot of the hats, about half the hats that I was selling were just kind of basic hats too. There were some good ones in there. People got some great deals and some cool vintage hats and some other cool hats. But we sold around, the goal was 100. We sold like 92 before I kind of got distracted with talking about my hat shaper, and then just kind of ended the show after that, after I kind of showed the hat shaper and how to use it and stuff like that. But so we brought home, what was the payout? Like $450?
Yeah.
So after everything was done, we did all the shipments on 92 sales. We did about $450. So you want to give a rough estimate of around, what is that, $4.50 a hat? So I paid $2.50 per hat. So I made about $2 per hat. If you want to get down to everything after all the fees were paid, and don't really have to pay for boxes on whatnot as much, just a few here and there. But so we probably made around $200 on the 100 hats. Now it's just hard. It's hard to sell a hat for, a lot of them went for $3 or $4, and a few went for 20 or 30, but it was just kind of hard. I don't know if I will do it that way again. I don't mind selling a really good hat for $15 or $20. I might go for 40 or 50, but I can't sell hats that'll go for 20 for $3 or $4. So that's kind of the boat that I'm in. What we're going to do now, though, is we're going to look at the rest of the hats that came in. Let's see if we can find any other bangers. We're going to take a look at those. We're going to dump. How many hats are in those boxes? There's probably 4.
I think there's 250 in each box. So
it'll be close to another 500 hats. We're going to dump those out on the counter right now. We're going to take a look at those. See if we're going to spare you all the boring stuff because we got to clean them all later. But we're going to dig through them, see if we can find some other cool hats. We had some good sales this weekend too. I didn't really get to make a video of showing the hats. I'm going to pop them up on the screen right now after I kind of talk about them. Some of my favorite ones. The first one was this ZZ Top hat. This one went for what, like 40?
For around $54.
$54 with the shipping and everything. I think that's what that total is. But I'll show it right here on the screen. $54, this ZZ Top hat. This guy said he was a huge ZZ Top collector. He was amazed to find it. It was probably one of one. I had the hat for probably about 6 months. So it took 6 months to find the ZZ Top guy. So I don't know how often he searches eBay, but it's been up there for a while. But I'm glad he found it. That was a great sell. Also, another one was this melon hat. It was a white, beautiful shape melon hat. Went for $40 plus shipping. So that was a really good sell as well. What other sales did we have?
We had, I don't know what it is, a Gottman.
Oh, the Gottman flat cap. Yeah, that's set on the Whatnot shelf back there through probably 5 or 6 shows. Nobody ever asked about it. I didn't really want to sell it and whatnot because I know it would have brought like $3 or $4 probably because people didn't know what it was. But it was a really cool Gore-Tex flat cap. And after we got our Whatnot show done this weekend, we kind of just pulled everything back off. We listed it on eBay, and that one happened to sell for like $40, $50. So it was a Gore-Tex flat cap, wool, Gottman, great brand, flat cap right there. So keep your eye out for that. And of course it was Gore-Tex, so it was really cool. I think we got one more cool one we want to share with you.
The Von Dutch.
Oh, the Von Dutch corduroy. Probably let it go a little cheap. I think it went for like $33,
something like that.
So $33 on this Von Dutch hat. I don't like to keep a hold of them very long. I know this one was real. I don't really like to keep them out there on the market that long. There's a lot of fake Von Dutch out there, and they really scare me on Veros. And so the quicker that I can just flip it and get it sold, I'm okay with it. There was one of them that came in the batch, so I probably paid $2 for it. but it was a really cool hat. It was real Von Dutch. But I just like to flip them quick. I don't like to leave those listings sitting around too long. If somebody gives me a decent offer, I usually take it just for that reason. So let's get to all this
cleaning
that we've got to get done. So we'll dump them out. Hopefully we'll dig through here and find some really cool hats that we can show you. So let's see what we got. All right, let's open up this box and I'll dump them all out. Here's how they compact. Oh man. Oh, I got a koozie too. All right, that's a ton to go through. Let's see. Okay, I got them all situated and kind of picked up the camera angle a little bit. I'm gonna go through them. I'll just show you the highlights of what we got here. All right, like the first thing we noticed as soon as we started just barely going through them, haven't even looked at very many of them. 3 melon hats in this box. So Mary was saying, so we probably paid around $500 or $600 for all the hats that are in here. Gonna do a total count, but you're looking at what, 40, 80. Sometimes if this is a really cool company and it comes pretty clean, that one might actually be like 50 or 60. But about $120 in these 3 hats. So a quarter of the box paid for in a few hats. We're gonna go through the rest of them. I'll show you any other cool ones, but it was just kind of weird that we came across these 3 first, because they are like, it's our favorite hat to sell. I mean, polo hats too. If I could have melon and polo store, I'm gonna be opening one of those.
They're good quality hats. That's why I like them.
Yeah, they're great. They feel really nice and they make really cool hats. All right, next thing I want to show you was I don't really get that much vintage stuff in there, but found 2 cool vintage hats, kind of the nylon. There was this really cool Winston Finals 1991 that was in here, and this Simplot, nice fishing embroidery on here. 2 really cool vintage hats. This box isn't typically the vintage stuff. It's usually pretty modern. Next, check out this Harley Davidson hat. I've never seen, I don't know what Javelina is. Is that a town in Texas? It has a Texas hit on the side. No, it says Born Texas on the back, so I'm not sure. This one's pretty badass. This is a really cool hat. And it is tagged Harley Davidson, so really cool score right there. Nice little patch hat. I really like that one. Next up, I want to show you this one. It's probably Mommy's Little Alcoholic. A lot of these are Instagram influencers that make these hats. You just don't really know. Anytime you've seen something like this, it's on a newer hat, and usually they use this Auto brand. They make a lot of hats, influencers. It takes a little bit to look them up, but you just don't know about it. Kind of a crazy saying. I don't know. I'll have to look it up, but I just came across that one and I wanted to point it out that if I was like out in the wild, I'd probably still pick that up, even if I didn't have time to research it fully. Okay, last ones I want to talk about in this box is golf. It's still selling really well and it's the slow season, but really cool golf hats. Still, they go really quick. They will really pick up in a couple of months, but just knowing when you have a really cool one that's definitely over $20, like this Ping USA hat right here. Really cool Ping hat. That'll do awesome. PXG, great brand right here on the New Era. PXG hats. And then some people like them, some people don't. I like finding the Titleist with the sports teams on the side. This one happens to be minor league. I'm sure y'all will tell me who that minor league team is. The what? Does it say that? Oh, Sod Poodles? I don't know. I guess it says it on there. But I don't know if is it the Sod Poodles? That doesn't even look like a poodle. Anyways, it says college. I don't know. I guess it's not minor league. I guess it's college. I like finding them, but who are the Sod Poodles? I don't know. But I really like finding the Titleist with the teams on the side. And then just regular golf hats. These Imperial ones with the ropes on them. I mean, They sell like
Almost immediately.
almost immediately after I list them. Maybe I'm listing them a little cheap, but $15 to $20. I mean, the hat new is probably $30. So if it comes clean, then I'm okay with $20. And then last is tennis. I love finding tennis hats, especially U.S. Open Championship hats, American Needle tennis hats. I love finding them, especially when they say New York City on the side. These do really well. Love finding U.S. Open hats. We're gonna open up the other box. I think Mary thinks I'm crazy, but we're gonna open up the other one, see if we can find a few more gems in there that we can talk about. I mean, the rest of the hats, a lot of them just are basic. I mean, you got Adidas, you got an Atlanta Braves, a cool Babe Ruth hat. This is a Bass Rocks Golf Club, another golf hat right here. Tommy Hilfiger, Patagonia. I don't know what craft is. It might be a brewery. Ottawa, Canada. A cool horse hat with a nice patch on it. Washington Nationals, Hurley, Georgia. There's an Atlanta soccer hat right here. This is a Corvette hat. I mean, a lot of them, they're really cool hats. Most of the other ones are like $15 to $20 hats. I might find another few gems in here, but there's a lot of cool ones. But let's see what's in the other box. All right. I know some of y'all like to watch them all dump out. Okay, the first one that I found in here that were kind of interesting, and one that you can pick out pretty easy because they're easy to spot. They have these ropes on the front. They're called Find Lay hats. Usually over $20, usually $30 or $40 if you find really cool ones. Mary found this really cool one. It was
Dick's Hamburgers.
Dick's Hamburgers Diner. It has like their menu on it. Really cool. They have like it customized inside too. So if you look it up on eBay, most of them go, the new ones like $30 or $40, but some cool ones that have cool designs on them or cool companies can go for a little bit more. They're really easy to spot. They have this specific type of rope design on the front. So Find Lay hats usually worth digging into to see if you got a $30 or $40 hat. Bad news, only one other melon in that bunch. So that's too bad, but we got another melon. I've never seen a St. Louis Cardinals hat like this before, and I've only seen like one other like MLB hat on the Anco, the lightweight kind of nylon. Really cool St. Louis Cardinals hat that we found in there. I just never seen it. It's kind of weird that this came in this box with mostly newer hats, but it's definitely vintage Anco. So really cool St. Louis hat. We did find. 'Tis the season. I'm gonna have to get this one listed like in the next 30 minutes because we're about to run out of time. But we found a Branded Bills makes some cool hats too, and they're just kind of put really cool patches on them. They just have all sorts of seasons. They do a lot of golf stuff. They just do a lot of custom cool patches. So this had Santa Claus smoking a cigar on Branded Bills. Usually just depends on how cool the patch is on here. How well it will sell and how fast it will go. Not all Branded Bills, I would say, pick it up. Just really depends on what you got on the front. And I think Santa Claus is pretty cool. Not in the best shape. I might have to do a little repair on this swoosh. But I've talked about them in the past. I bring them up anytime I run across them though. The panel Nike hats, especially with this mesh on it. The regular ones, they'll sell for $20, but when you get this good mesh that the runners really like, they can push 30, 40. If you get the really old ones, this one's not older, but if you get the really older ones and cool colors, you can be talking $100, $150 hats. And Gorin Brothers, just the different patch. This was King Cobra, and this one is real. So always check the Gorin Brothers, make sure that they're real. This one's the real deal. You can just feel that it's made well, and it's not one of the cheap reproductions. But these cool ones with the different patches, $30, $40. So I think they just kind of like limited supply on some of the patches that they put out. but King Cobra I think will do pretty good. This one I don't know. I haven't looked it up. Let's look it up real quick. Okay, so we run into the same problems you do. It was really hard to find it. We tried 5.7 is the brand of the hat?
I guess so. I don't know. It's very difficult to find, but we're pretty sure that 5.7 is the brand.
5.7 brand it looks like a baseball player with the chicken in his hand, a Mexican flag, and I don't know what it all means. But what I know is that it's an expensive hat. This was not cheap to make. Look at the inside detail on the inside of the hat. Look how good the embroidery is right here. Look at the embroidery on this guy. We found a website for 5.7 hats. Most of them were like $30 to $40. I couldn't see this particular one. I'm probably going to come in at $50 or $60. There's nothing out there. I think it's a really specialized hat. I think if somebody wanted to replace theirs or they had ever had their eye on this hat before, they might pay $50 or $60 for this hat. It's really awesome. I'll have to do a little bit more digging, but it's a really cool hat. There's none on eBay, 5.7 brand. And just knowing when you pick up a hat, whether it's quality or not, you can just feel this one's still quality. It was made really well. If any of you guys know any more about the significance of all these, I think we might have said some dirty words while we were trying to look it up. So I don't know. We don't know Spanish very well. And just always got to be diligent about finding the fakes. Fake New York Yankees I call it Muka, size 7 New York Yankees. You gotta know when you're looking at trash. This is trash. It's a really bad size. Plus, it's a fake hat. And a lot of times you can tell also in the sweatband, it just feels really cheap and looks really cheap. And I just know this brand is not officially licensed. Finally found a band hat, Fish. Nice little corduroy fish hat. I really love finding band hats. This one will probably go for like $30. It's corduroy, really cool patch on it. And this is another example of kind of like I was talking about on the 5.7 hat. You can just tell, look at the patches all over this one. And it said Cat and Trip. And a really cool hat, and just kind of knowing that this is a pretty quality hat. These are quality patches. It's on the D squared tag. Let's look it up real quick. And I happen to be right. This is like a $40, $50 hat. I might ask more for it. There's not anything like it on eBay right now. This is the Bolo that you're going to be looking for. D squared 2. They make some really good hats. Most of them are in the 40 to 50 range. This is a great hat brand right here. They make a hat that says like Icon on it, and they make a hat that says like D squared 2 kind of spell out on them. Those are kind of their regular hats, but they have a lot of cool design hats. Like this one with the Peru trail on it, D squared 2 trail. I think this one will do really good. Really great hat brand right here. Keep a lookout for D squared 2. All right, guys, we're going to get busy cleaning these up. It's going to take us a while to get all these hats cleaned up. Definitely, probably some more gems in here after we get sorting them even better. I'm sure I'll show you those in the future episodes, so stay tuned. We'll definitely start selling these, and we'll definitely start passing them on. And you don't know, maybe they'll show up in a whatnot too.